So I came across a recent Reddit post that said the Jabra Evolve2 85 is total garbage. I'm not so sure that that criticism is fair. So let's find out what it's all about and see if there's some questions we can answer. It seemed like in this case, the biggest complaint was there's connectivity issues and no new firmware update since 2020. I also found that a bit strange, so I have an inquiry into Jabra to find out what that's all about. But to say avoid Jabra or your professional life will suffer is absolutely absurd. Jabra has been manufacturing headsets for work as long as I've been alive, and whether the Evolve 285 is a fit for you or not, they make a ton of different options for you to consider. That being said, I tried to duplicate the connectivity issue and I connected the Evolve 285 every possible way with Bluetooth, the USB dongle, and the charge cord, and I wasn't able to duplicate what the complaint was about. To be fair though, that was just some preliminary testing I did, and I'd really have to start using the headset for a few weeks or so to figure out if the same issue happened with me and if there's a fix or not. In many cases like this, when your headset isn't working, I find it interesting that customers skip contacting tech support for help. Maybe it's because we're all trained at this point. Many companies really just don't invest in tech support and customer service. So the thought of contacting a company may feel like more of a hassle than it's worth. But I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this topic. Let us know in the comments below. If you're connecting to a Windows computer, one troubleshooting step you can try that fixes a ton of audio and connectivity issues is disabling the setting called Intel Smart Sound Technology. Also, another troubleshooting step to try when it comes to connectivity issues is don't have the USB dongle connected to your computer at the same time the headset's connected to your computer with Bluetooth, because this is also known to cause some connectivity issues. Another common complaint that I was reading about is you don't get that high quality sound for music when you have the microphone active on your computer, and that's because the headset goes into call mode for the best call quality. Unfortunately, this is just a limitation of Bluetooth in general, and it's not limited to only the Jabra Evolve 285. So there's really no way around this aside from don't have your microphone active when you're listening to music, and then when you want to use the headset for calls again, then activate the microphone. I know that's annoying and it's a workaround, but it is an option nonetheless. Only as of recently, there's been some unique innovations, EPOS being the first with their Impact 1000 series headsets, which gives you that more high quality sound while the microphone is active. And Jabra has some new solutions coming out soon that's also going to do the same thing. For example, if you look up the Jabra Link 390, it talks more on this topic with their new USB dongle they're creating. A second complaint about the microphone is the lack of microphone noise cancellation. And after doing some testing, I agree. It certainly doesn't block out the background noise as much as other headsets, but the voice clarity is plenty fine for phone calls and meetings. But stay tuned because we're going to do a microphone comparison and let you be the judge for yourself. The good news is when you're using a headset like the Jabra Evolve 285, most likely you're going to be using it on a computer or mobile phone. And apps like Zoom, Teams, and many others have a setting that you can turn on, which will further enhance the noise cancellation on the microphone. The same goes for if you use an iPhone or Android phone. They both have a setting that you can turn on to further enhance the microphone noise cancellation. For iPhone, you have voice isolation, and for Android, it's called noise suppression. And if for any reason your call or meeting software doesn't have this feature, or it's just not doing good enough, you can consider adding a third-party noise canceling software called neep.com that addresses this issue for you to be heard clearly without background noise.
In a quiet working environment, this is how the Jabra Evolve 285 would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's no background noise. Testing 1, 2, 3. With the mic boom up and the built-in microphones and the headphones, this is how it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3, no background noise. Testing 1, 2, 3. In a quiet working environment, this is how the Sony XM5s would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's no background noise. Testing 1, 2, 3. In a quiet working environment, this is how the Apple AirPods Max would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. No background noise. Testing 1, 2, 3. With a baby crying, this is how the headset would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's a baby crying. Testing 1, 2, 3. With the microphone up, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's a baby crying. Testing 1, 2, 3. With a baby crying, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's a baby crying. Testing 1, 2, 3. With a baby crying, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's a loud baby crying. Testing 1, 2, 3. With the baby crying and Neep turned on, this is what it sounds like. Testing 1, 2, 3.
There's a baby crying. Testing 1, 2, 3.
If you were in a loud open office call center, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's loud office background noises. Testing 1, 2, 3. With the microphone up, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's a loud open office. Testing 1, 2, 3. In a loud open office call center, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's open office background noise playing. Testing 1, 2, 3. If you were in a loud open office call center, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. There's open office background noise. Testing 1, 2, 3. With open office call center sounds playing, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3.
There's open office background noise. Testing 1, 2, 3.
If you were typing on a keyboard, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. Typing on a keyboard. Testing 1, 2, 3. And with the microphone up, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. Typing on a keyboard. Testing 1, 2, 3. If you were typing on a keyboard, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. Typing on a keyboard. Testing 1, 2, 3. If you were typing on a keyboard, this is what it would sound like. Testing 1, 2, 3. Typing on a keyboard. Testing 1, 2, 3. You were typing on a keyboard with Neep noise canceling software turned on. This is what it sounds like. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Typing on a keyboard. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now that you heard the different microphone comparisons of the other headsets that would be considered in the same class, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Overall, the Jabra Evolve2 85 is far from garbage and is well worth considering in 2024. And just like any pair of headphones, none are perfect, so it comes down to your specific needs and budget as to which is best to go with. To set the proper expectations, it's important that you compare the Jabra Evolve2 85 with other headsets that would be considered in the same class. Being that the Jabra Evolve2 85 headphones are one of a kind, they really blend in with consumer headphones that you heard in the microphone test, like Bose, Sony, Apple, and a number of others. If you're needing headphones for your music and personal audio, stick with the consumer brands. If you're needing something a little different that gives you one pair of headphones to be good for your work calls and meetings, but also something that's respectable for your music, the Evolve2 85 is hands down the best of the bunch. Although work and music headphones really blend in together, there's 5 important nuances of the Evolve2 85 that make all the difference for your work calls and meetings that music headphones just don't offer. Number 1, you get the option to either use the microphone boom when it's up, or if you want better voice quality, you simply pull the microphone boom down and you're gonna be heard better. 2, included is a USB dongle, so when you connect the headset to your computer, you're gonna get a much more reliable connection and better audio. 3, Jabra is optimized and compatible with all leading UC platforms like Microsoft Teams, Zoom, RingCentral, and many others, so you're gonna get advanced capabilities like being able to answer in calls from your headset when away from the computer. 4, when you wear headphones that fully enclose your ears and you're trying to talk on calls and meetings, it can feel very unnatural because it almost feels like you're in a fishbowl and you can't really tell how loud you're talking, and it can come across to people on the other end like you're yelling. The Jabra Evolve2 85 has a feature called side tone, which allows you to slightly hear your own voice when you're talking to the microphone, which is gonna feel more natural, and you'll be able to regulate how loud you're talking, which the other options don't offer when it comes to music headphones. Lastly, the Evolve2 85 can be used as a wired headset, so you'd simply connect the charge cord from your headset to the computer, and if you had a low battery, you'd easily be able to continue using the headset as it's charging. There's my 2 cents on this topic. Although not perfect, the Jabra Evolve2 85 is far from garbage and is well worth considering today, and it's in about the same price range as other headphones in the same class. When considering a new headset, there's so many different nuances to consider, and it can quickly give you a headache. So if you want some help, contact us today, and one of our advisors will be more than ready to help. We can point you in the right direction and verify compatibility on which headset's best for you. That's it for this video. If you found it helpful, give it a like because that really helps us out, and consider subscribing to our channel for more videos like this in the future.